Lush, we're live here on the scene out in Columbia, Maryland.
Fix your audio.
Just a
Fuck.
few hours ago, 3 people confirmed dead inside the mall. We want to reset the stage for you now as things have begun to calm a bit. We're talking right now about what's going on here out at the mall. You see Incident Command right there, right down by the Sears store, stretching all the way back to the JCPenney. Number of media outlets are here, as you would expect in a situation like this. We're in a pretty well-contained area now. A lot of activity going on outside the ropes, outside the police tape. Officers moving through, going through, I'm assuming right now, examining car to car, going through, still working this scene. Though it has been deemed secure, they are still very much on guard, making sure everything is basically still patted down. Just talked to one officer a moment ago. He said they are out here right now working in force, keeping everything just balanced right now, just to be completely honest with you. A lot of these cars out here are still sitting empty. The parking lots, as you would expect on a Saturday afternoon, for a mall like the Columbia Mall here in Howard County, you would expect so much traffic. And that was certainly the case this morning when the first calls came in around 11:15 of an active shooting scene inside one of the stores near the Sears outlet. That is one of the areas that has been a real point of focus involved in all of this. And if you're familiar with the mall here in Howard County in Columbia, it exists in a series of hubs. You have Nordstrom, you have Macy's, Lord & Taylor. You also have...
you have a bunch of stores in the mall.
Occupies the far west side of the mall. There's a,
Dude, these people are well paid. Well paid. There's stores in the mall.
Just to kind of give you some points of reference inside the building.
Thank you, Charlie Lush.
Inside, you have a lower level and an upper level. We both learned from Howard County Executive Ken Ullman and also from the police chief here on the scene that it happened, the shooting, on the second level in a shop in a store that has not been confirmed yet as far as a name or a location. It happened inside one of the stores there, not one of the larger stores with Sears and whatnot, as I just described for you. It was one of the subset stores on the second level. 3 people have been confirmed dead in all of this. Katrina Bush has been on the scene since this started breaking shortly after noon. We get crews here to the scene in Howard County. We arrived just a few moments ago. There was a press briefing around 1:30 this afternoon. Second briefing is coming up at 4 o'clock this afternoon. So we'll be here for that throughout the course of the day with this developing story. Again, Howard County, 3 people confirmed dead inside the mall here in Columbia near the Sears store. One of the shops near this Sears store, just over my right shoulder. As we look back around here, Incident Command on the scene, Howard County on the scene. School buses have been brought in to help keep people warm. Warming centers, that's actually they're blocked right now by some of the cars and some of the trucks here on the other side. Those school buses have been brought in to help people stay warm in a situation like this because...
School bus. Putting fucking adults in a fucking school bus to keep them warm. Can't keep them in the mall.
And when you throw in the wind chill, this is certainly something...
That means they don't have a shooter.
So they brought in to try to help people out. Also, if you have any intention of coming around the Columbia Mall right now, don't even think about it because State Highway Administration...
They got this mall locked down. They don't want anybody getting in or out.
Blocked off with some of their road grading trucks and their implement trucks, those large, heavy-duty vehicles. They're blocking those roads right now, so you're not going to be getting in with that. So if you have any intentions of being around this mall right now, we would certainly caution.
Unless you're one of the fucking 6 mainstream media people, they'll let you in. Read your fucking script.
For us, the first call came in at around 11:15. She has just returned to our position here for you on this Saturday afternoon. Katrina, I know you've been looking for some witnesses there, talking to a number of people who have been in there, were in that mall at the time of this. What are they telling you?
Well, you know what? By our media staging area, there aren't a lot of people coming out, but actually, as I walked around the other side, there was someone who was a group of people who were in the PF Chang's. They said they didn't hear anything. They were just in there eating, and then people came in, the police came in and told them they could leave. They didn't see anything. I walked around the other side, and I saw a worker who worked in the Auntie Annie's just right below where the shooting happened. He said he heard the shots. He was in there with 2 of his
Food court is right
employees,
next to Sears.
walked into the back where
Tell us something we don't know, Charlie Lush. The food court is right next to Sears.
They were able to watch on the surveillance cameras what was going on right outside of the store. So he said he heard up to 5 shots right below. He's in the right by the food court. So he said it was just terrifying, and they just stayed in there Only for about 10 or 15 minutes, though. Then police came in and told them that they could get out.
So that's consistent with the story we've been hearing in reports throughout the afternoon, that everyone was told when the mall went into lockdown mode, they were told to remain in position until told to leave, given the all clear. As you can imagine, your first response is going to be to flee. But as you were talking about with those people at the P.F. Chang, it's not at all unusual that someone wouldn't hear this, because the size of this mall is such that you can be in any of the other stores, from Macy's to JCPenney to Lord & Taylor, even Nordstrom, and have no idea what's happening on the far west side of this mall. So I'm sure as the word began spreading out, as we went into lockdown mode, many of these people, instead of wanting to stay in position, I'm pretty sure they wanted to run, didn't they?
Absolutely. I mean, and like you said, they might not even know what's going on if they're on the other side. I walked up to them. They were walking out of the other side of the mall. I said, were you inside at the time? They just kind of looked at me like, yeah, we were, but we didn't see anything.
Right.
We didn't know anything. Walked to the other side, and this guy was right below, heard all of the shots, and he actually showed us his feed and of his surveillance camera inside of his office, a live feed. You know, obviously nothing going on there right now, but he said he was scared big time sitting in there.
Now, there was a briefing about an hour ago, a little more than an
Maryland
hour
State
ago,
Police will be
County
taking his
officials,
videos.
County, everyone involved with this,
Make sure they don't find the shooter.
As to the make, model, caliber of the weapon that was used.
It was an AR-15 shotgun.
The indication is that they think this was
Sawed-off
random,
pump action,
or do they have
fully
any idea
automatic
if it was possibly
AR shotgun.
They actually said that it was too early to tell any of that, to have answers to any of those questions.
Gotta wait till the government script comes in until we're allowed to talk.
We will know. I will tell you, Roger, who's the man I spoke to at Aniani's, he said that it didn't sound like a pistol. The shots were very deep and long, so he thought that that it was a shotgun.
It's entirely possible, given some of the reports that we've also heard from other outlets outside of the state of Maryland, phoners that other entities were doing, CNN being one in specific. There was a similar consistent story told by an eyewitness who was close to that store, and they began, it's speculation right now, obviously, as you would expect, that it was possibly that of a 12-gauge shotgun or high-caliber shotgun used just by the sound.
This guy, Charlie Lush, looks like he sleeps in a pool of his own urine.
From officials. As far as getting people out, how did they work with that? Because we're talking about thousands of people inside here, even at 11:15 in the morning. This is a highly trafficked area, as you would expect, even on a Saturday.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, people were just basically either, if they could get out safely, they did
And
that.
people were talking out of their noses like they were doing a NPR news report.
So it can be very frightening. You don't know
It could
what
be
you're going
very
to walk out
frightening.
into. So basically, people just stayed where they could.
She
where they
seems
knew
like a
they were
nice
safe
girl,
and
except
waited
for
police
the
to
dramatic
let them know.
pauses
Say,
and
Chief
nasally
McMahon
overtones.
did also say that in regards to the gun, well, actually, a reporter asked, do we know if this was random, if there was any kind of altercation before the shots rang out? And he said, no, it's just too early to tell.
All right, that next news briefing coming up at 4 o'clock. We're going to be.
All right, we'll come back later and see if we catch these fuckers lying.
How